to your kind of tier 3 online tournaments. It's not the same vibe, and then all of a sudden, like, you think you're super hot, and some of these teams are beating you that you don't think.
And then you lose to Akimbo and K23.
And you're like waiting to like come into a different org. That doesn't happen. So yeah, it can be a little bit demotivating, but you need to just push through it.
Yeah, got to play through the pain.
Consequences in both those series that they played previously back in Stockholm and now here is moving on to the next stage of the event. So both these teams, Copenhagen Flames probably trying to get a little bit of vengeance, some revenge on the loss they took at the PGL Major. Here we are live into the pistol round. Going to be NiP starting on the CT side. We got dualies in play. We got 4 guns in the upper bomb site.
And they both have the same skin. Is that
It's
these guys
beautiful.
are just look at that. Look, it's so coordinated. We'll see if their gameplay is a little more coordinated than what it has been as of late for NiP. They talked about it on the desk. Not enough firepower, potentially. Fizzy down below, going to swing out. He's missed 2 players already entering in the site, so his time was numbered as they wanted to wrap around the silos. Bomb will be planted safe side. They don't have full control of Heaven, and that's where S-Tag will try and get himself positioned with the USP. No kit left in play. Rez has armor. He's going to swing outside. Hampus has made his way back toward Mini as well. They'll both enter together. Hampus was down on the secret stairs, but no presence outside. He still sits with 100 HP to try and get toward this bomb, but Jabbi's the only one to take any damage so far, and Hooksy's in a perfect position to hook out wide after the first kill, and nail Rez with a headshot. Copenhagen Flames start out on fire. I'm going to use a lot of those really, really redundant and not creative puns, and go up 1-0.
Oh, that's a nice pistol round from Copenhagen Flames. Not enough stopping power in those dualies. That's not how this defense was supposed to work out, but beautiful flashbang from Nikodas. Both players a little bit blinded. Also forced into the open. Good utility usage. The Molotov in the site making that very difficult to coordinate the defense. And it's nice and clean. Second round bye for NiP. Deagles, a CZ, pair of them. And Copenhagen Flames have the solid second round bye. They're going to head towards outside. Previously the upper execute. Now using the open space of the outer yard.
Well, smokes down immediately, allows them to cross over towards Secret. Zyphon sitting way back to make sure that no one will try and sneak in behind them.
He's chilling.
Now the question is, with Jabbi this far back, utility to work with. He could try to disrupt. I say he has utility to work with. He's already thrown that just now, so it's not going to be much left. I was going to say he could try and disrupt and keep people upper, but he's going to sneak in through lobby, potentially cut off the ladder when they want to go down, because it's just Hampus down there now, and he's going to get overrun. Does do a bit of damage, just a fraction really onto Roy, and they'll overrun his position. Rez gets one with the Deagle. Nikodas falls. Plopski trying to hold ramp where he can, and this is where Jabbi comes in late. Tries to make sure no one can go anywhere. In fact, that was through Squeaky, excuse me. I thought we were looking through Radio Room, but it's 2-0 now for Copenhagen Flames. Pretty standard round. That was pretty smart, well thought out, just locking the CTs.
I mean, two clean rounds that open this up for Copenhagen Flames. Looking good early on. The test in the pistol round, the test of the second round bye from the defense, and I mean, they pass it with flying colors, only losing 1 player across the 2 rounds. Now things get a little bit easier, unarmored opponents. So Hooksy's MAC-10 can be very aggressive. Chew up the unarmored players and get some bonus money flowing.
Need to take the door out at Squeaky. Hooksy goes immediately through into the vents. That's gone as well. Molotov behind him. No one's coming down, and he's gonna have so much map already. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's obviously a very strong position now. I mean, less impactful in a round like this because NiP's stacking towards the upper bomb site. So, I mean, you don't really have the pressure of feeling like someone got down low and is going to be able to cut off rotations, because you're not even really concerned about that at the moment with these weaker weaponry. You're just looking for anything. Jumping Galil from Nikodas.
Yeah, not bad. Takes out Rez. That was the closest player to the smoke. They're still pushing through, so Nikodas gets ready. He nearly didn't have the gun out, and player up on top of the red crates. Could have caught him out, but smart. Yeah, he's going to just put the Molotov down and back away. Immediately, by the way, Hooksy was covering off back in the vent. He didn't want to lurk too far. He just wanted to make sure rotations couldn't get ahead of his teammate, ahead of the cavalry. And that'll now put us into just 2 players left for NiP. And they'll have guns in the next round. So maybe they can get something rolling, but very, very smart and fast start from Copenhagen Flames so far.
Yeah, fast, surely. Efficient is kind of what's sticking in my brain right now. 1 player going down in these first 3 rounds so far. Not the biggest deal this early in the game, but it's just nice to see Copenhagen Flames not struggling whatsoever. Everyone seeming comfortable in these first 3 rounds. And off to a good lead. M4 is being picked up by the Ninjas. Fuzi as well picks up the AWP. No kits across the CT side. We'll see if that comes into play. But again, another chance. You mentioned fast. Copenhagen Flames can come up with another kind of fast strategy if they want to. Again, they have a bit of a bonus round, so to speak, with a few Galils mixed in there. The MAC-10 still on hooks, and we saw him get down vents quickly in the previous round. This round, that could be really impactful.
See again, same thing. Oh, wow, he's made it. No, he hasn't. He got caught. Hampus through the smoke, blinded as well, just had the lineup, barely caught him, but that's a very crucial and significant kill in the round.
This is a good angle to get a second kill, and a little bit slow, falling asleep at the wheel. But that was a chance for a 5-on-3 in the favor of NiP.
Yeah, it was a bit of a late reaction. I didn't catch his eyes. Maybe he was looking elsewhere for a moment to check radar, but either way, they'll know the AWP is in play toward the ramp. Roy's still trying to get position. May not have got toward the vents, may not have got downstairs that way, but he'll head through secret. And no one really down there that's going to combat this.
It's nice. If you're Roy, you're kind of happy with this, but then the question becomes, as always, like, where do you go? How do you choose to sync up with your teammates, or where do your teammates attack to let you have an impactful position? So looking towards ramp room, Roy in the vents to cut off any kind of rotation to drop down and be able to defend at the double doors. And NiP still have no idea this is happening.
Exactly. I was about to say, Hampus is back towards CT watching outer, thinking no one's crossed yet. He's still jumping, looking for information, trying to get some inclination of what they're doing. And there's no one downstairs. You can get your AWP. Fizzy potentially could drop down with it, but that's still going to make rotations extremely difficult. So again, even though they lost the opening pick on Hooksy, I'd say Copenhagen Flames have the advantage. Another miss for the AWP. Jabbi can't capitalize, and the AWP is already sent running downstairs. Oh, no. He's got to hit these shots. Yeah, surely.
He's missing a couple. This is brutal. Ooh, they're not looking at him. He somehow sneaks away, gets another one. Good trade from Nikodas. Roy's still just chilling, and there finally is his moment. It would have been nice if he could have backstabbed the AWPer, but he had to watch for the vent drop.
And that's the problem. Even though this went to a 4-on-2, it was never like they had the control of the round because of Roy's position. And now, at 2-on-2, bomb planted immediately inside of the smoke. Nikodas AWP at the orange box, gonna make sure no one can walk up close. That's a tough position, tough angle. Sees it, misses it. If he had to hit that, I'd say round over. Now it's all on Roy, who's been down here for so long. 4 kills so far in the game. 2 in this round, making a third. He's looking for the 4th, but they're on it. He doesn't have the lineup. They're gonna hold it. He doesn't have a kit. Nade instead, he's 100 HP. He's got to shoot him in. He's got to take him down with bullets. He's not quite going to get it. Rez gets a full 10-second defuse.
Oh, that's got to be so frustrating if you're Roy. 4 kills in the round, and he takes all the guns away, so not too bad in a losing effort. But man, that's a tough round for NiP to win. That's just brutal, letting the 10-second defuse slip away. Admirable from Roy. Does find it after the fact. And NiP, I mean, listen, you can't really be all that happy about that round if you're the Ninjas. Yeah, you won it. You lost the op. You still have no kit. You have even less utility to work with in this round, and your economy's on the verge of being broken again. $150 in the bank across the entire team. NiP scrambling for the moment, and it's aggression that they call, and it's aggression that succeeds. They take control of lobby. Another 5-on-4 for the Ninjas.
So the early picks going the way of NiP in both gun rounds, but I still won't call the last round comfortable. They needed a little bit of luck to get by. Positioning outside in the big garage, we saw it. Hampus trying to hold off, but down below him, Hooksy already has Plopski. So once again, the lower site, and I won't say the whole site, but the access to lower is controlled by the T side.
I think the hard part is Hampus is just trapped here. There's no utility to help him get out. Rez has 1 flashbang, but that better be God tier. And this is a spot that they're going to be wary of. Nikodas looking for anyone peeking outside. Hampus just has to hold his nerve and chill.
The one thing I will say, and again, the problem is they don't know it, but they are now. S-Tag's gone through radio. He's checked lobby. Fizzy's going to know he has no one behind him at Squeaky in about... It depends on how far S-Tag wants to go, but he can at least cover this. Hampus is already gone. Smoke down on Mini, though. That's a very smart single smoke. They know they've already got to big garage. No one else outside. No one at heaven. There's only one spot that can capitalize, and just like that, the AWP... Tough position. He goes down below. He's got the M4 immediately removed by the AK instead. Rez the next in line. So they did get rotations in, but it's still the favor, still the trade going for Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, NiP had the right call. It's just banger headshots out of Copenhagen Flames to crack it open and negate that kind of a stack at the lower site. And then obviously S-Tag has no chance. They spot the final player. Call an audible to the upper bomb site, and he's in an impossible situation. So 4-1, and that is the nightmare scenario after winning a round with no players surviving. You've got no money in the bank. NiP, everyone kind of hovering around $2,500. before investing in this round. Good shooting from Hooksy down low. Saw him try and go for those vent drops with the MAC-10 a couple of times. This round he cracks it open through secret stairs.
See if they change the base at all. I mean, outside's been working so well. They're going to have both Fizzy and Hampus there to cover it off. Close smoke, and then a single. Okay, they did throw another one. No gap. Close to no gap. Might have been one just next to the red crate, but Roy's already gone by that with the M4. No guns to work with for NiP this time, but they'll have S-Tag downstairs in the hallway, and he's backed up by Rez right now as well.
You can have all the backup in the world. No armor and just pistols. That's no fun. Roy's just chilling, looking for information outside, feeling relatively safe. Back and forth, up and down the stairs, keeping his eye on everything as he can. Rest of his team aligning in lobby, and they can just use utility to slowly encroach and constrict onto this upper bomb site. Here's the utility to get Jabbi out into the open. Hooksy with the kill. That's the MAC-10. The upper bomb site is lost.
S-Tag up the vents, trying to get back into position, and he does the right time. He sneaks through to get Nikodas. That's an AWP for them to work with. Hooksy's got to be careful as he turns around to see where that AWP is gone, and he nearly gets caught by Hampus. Has to sneak out. MAC-10 can't do it. You said pistols were no fun, Jason. I think they're having a bit of a laugh right now.
Yep, I'll eat my words on this one. They're doing God's work so far with what they had to bring into the round. Still going to be a tough 2-on-2 if they even want to go for it. Rez has the M4. I mean, he could, in theory, choose to save this, but he's going to peek in and see what he can find, if there's anything he can find.
Tough call as well, because there's no kits in play, and the bomb is ticking away. You're kind of right. They had the choice to save it and just get some weapons back in their hands, but maybe round's a little bit more tantalizing for them at this point. 5-1. Copenhagen Flames do escape that one, but not as efficient as you've been saying.
It was a doable retake as well. I don't blame him for going for it at all, especially with the money coming into this round. A lot more comfortable. Still going to be no kits on the NiP side, but plenty of rifles built up. And Copenhagen Flames may be feeling like that round was a bit shaky. They've been pretty solid throughout this game so far. That round was one that felt like it might have gotten away from them, and they just call an immediate timeout, settle things down, and make sure they're all on the same page moving forward.
Settle down, Jason.
Settle down.
It is going to settle in this series over a best of 3, and as they said on the desk, the winner will immediately qualify for the Spodek Arena. This is the play-in, so technically they'll qualify for IEM Katowice. I know that sounds confusing because we're all here.
Not the Spodek. Not yet.
No, yes, sorry. Yes, the next stage. I'm sorry, you're right.
It's okay.
I'm new here. Never cast
I've never done one of these before.
No, this is a whole new world for me. That said, it's Mirage coming up next. We're guaranteed that at the very least, and then Overpass if needed. I know they said all that on the desk, but for those of you just joining us, that's your update. That's what you can look forward to in this series. Hopefully NiP can look forward to
Everyone loves
very
Mirage.
least 3 maps. I do favor Copenhagen Flames in this series, and I think NiP's in a weird spot right now. Obviously, the big signing of Device, and then we know he's been sitting out for some personal reasons, and we hope he's doing well, but it's definitely means they're on the back foot trying to come up with something to keep them going as a team. Plopski's going to get something to get them going in this round. Again, the first pick for NiP. He's going to double up before going down, but Fizzy's going to do the same. Og to play with as he comes down from heaven. Bomb dropped beside the silo. No smoke on top of it. They'll have the vision, and Rez will push through to catch out Hooksy. That's a pretty convincing round. I know 3 players only survive, but convincing and fast nonetheless from NiP.
Also, a good defense against a tough play. That play is super popular. The smoke out of the squeaky door, you pop flash them through. Really tough sometimes to read the timing of that as the defender, and they handled it well. Plopski coming out over top, saving his teammate's life, who was just basically there for distraction and bait as the round turned out, but nicely done from NiP. 5-2 in the favor of Copenhagen Flames. Op back in the hands of Fuzi, and Op in the hands of Nikodas as well on the T side. Copenhagen Flames starting to run a little bit low on funds. Not in the breaking point just yet, but not as comfortable as they'd like.
Hampus does try to body block the smoke. It'll still cover off many, but maybe he's hoping it'll create a gap he can still see toward the red crate from his
Gives Rez a gap up in heaven is actually what it does.
Good call. As Plopski, though, is the one that was standing high and in charge, you would think, on top of the silo. And off angle, what a transfer! As Rez manages to get 2 before going down, but they're still down in the round, and Fizzy makes his presence known working through from radio. I was about to say that round was pretty much done on that entry, but Rez, that was pretty spicy little transfer. Unfortunately, he's just outnumbered and outgunned.
Yeah, it's a bummer when you make such a nice shot like that, a nice transfer over, and it's just not enough to hold you off in the round. Some of these upper hits from Copenhagen Flames have been brutal. They've done a very good job. NiP was able to stop him in the previous round, but not this one. And NiP now are going to have a decision to make as they take a timeout. Down 4, 2-6 heading into round number 9. And they've got some economic conversations to have. You can see Fuzi there already picked up a Mag 7.
Yep.
I wonder if that's a snap buy, if that was a miss buy.
Well, the fact that he has it and then the timeout's called and they haven't bought anything else makes you think that he was a little bit quick on that one.
Yeah.
It's certainly a viable weapon on this map. We know that, but yeah, I would say maybe should have waited.
Well,
the call there.
Whether that was the call all along or whether the rest of the team is just falling in line, they do have a 3-round losing bonus built up, so they're going to make some of this funds back. But Hampus has picked up a scout, obviously some CZs and armor picked up by Plopski, Deagle on Rez, so they're having some more danger around it. So at least give them a chance, and they came close to winning one of these rounds previously. We'll see if NiP has it in them this time. Door blown open, standard utility used to keep aggressive pushes at bay.
Interesting that Mag 7 is going to go down the vents. Typically, it plays Hut in that vicinity, watching the doorway, the 2 entrances of upper. But he's going to go get close to the secret stairs.
It's because a wall was put up outside. So, I mean, NiP's calling it out. No one outside can actually really cover it. So the shotgun's going to be the one to protect and find information at the lower bomb site. And obviously gets it up to a close angle as well. No one from Copenhagen Flames even getting close to the shotgun, though. The wall has done its trick.
Not controversial at all to have Swag's name on a gun, eh? Skin, Swag.
Not at all.
Well, oh, burning alive. Rez was flashed up, couldn't see where he was. Hooksy's gonna get the kill despite the engagements at the ramp. You're right, there was no one outside, so they moved the shotgun, but it moves away from the exact position. It could have been hugely influential in this round.
Exactly, which is, I mean, that's why the smoke wall did its job. It forced a rotation. It caused them to shift around the weapons. Now, there's no way for Copenhagen Flames to know that it's pulled, you know, the shotgun away from such a dangerous attack. Good vertical stack. Plopski's not able to handle the follow-up, and neither is S-Tag. And that's the round after one quick kill from NiP. Hampus coming in for the flank, but Copenhagen Flames is so comfortable. They're aware.
That's why a staggered entry, by the way, just taking your time to clear angles against pistols is so powerful, because obviously they had that double lineup, high-low stack, like you say, and then the next 2 come in and are like, all right, I got low, you got high. Don't overpeak, don't overswing. Pretty straightforward assignment at that point in time, and they should, at this point, well, they will take the round with only 1 player lost in that occasion.
Yeah,
so smartly done from Copenhagen Flames.
Nice little peekaboo game at the end. Peekaboo with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he burns. He doesn't even, he gets out of there a little bit late. I think he gets stuck trying to move back, which is unfortunate. This is what you mentioned, kind of the staggered entry, the follow-up, good trading, and good spacing from Copenhagen Flames to not lose too many players to the stack. Again, another pretty much full buy, solid buy from NiP, but they need to get something going. Haven't been able to string 2 rounds together. Asatag at 1 frag, Hampus at 2 frags for the NiP side.
So they've gone for the alternate wall this time that covers off the garage. Hampus is inside of it, but again, no one heading outside at this point in time. A lot of utility used, therefore, by the T side. The last of 2 smokes is thrown now by Jabbi, and it's Siphon that will hold on to one if they want to do anything additional.
Yeah, these outside smokes, Copenhagen Flames hasn't messed with them a whole lot in that yard, have they? They've kind of used them as his just information denial. Ooh, nice little boost, and Rez, is he going to get baited into the peak? He sees the utility. He wants to stand and fight, which is relatively dangerous. He does have Fuzi here with the ult.
Yeah, Fuzi being in that position is actually the key, because they had a player swing in and could have surrounded Rez, but the Molotov pushed him back. Rez now knows he had to get away, does well to find one and stay alive in this situation.
And this is a lot of utility Copenhagen Flames has used already in this round. They do not have a lot to go for a plan B. They've got, what, 1 Molotov, 1 flashbang left on Roy. It's going to be all skill from here for Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, and this is tough. They know it as well, that they didn't get enough map control off of this, so Jabbi trying desperately to get an opening, catch someone out in the upper site. Plopski's up above. He won't be able to see that, and that means Hooksy's going to be a sitting duck, a target, and an easy kill, and Roy trying to counter that. Gets taken out by Hampus. Man on top of the huts, takes another. Plopski drops down. Nikoda's only able to get the AWP position now, and even though he was desperate to get down below for a bomb plant, he'll get caught out. Plopski, good round, 3 kills. And again, no utility, they can't move him from that position.
Yeah, the smoke wall outside cost a lot for them to pull that one off to kind of keep some attention from NiP outside, and then obviously the execute in towards ramp room as well. Used a lot of utility to just take 1 loss to Rez and not get any frags in return. Good defense from NiP, holding strong across the map and outlasting Copenhagen Flames utility. Puts them in a tough spot. 3-7, still 4 rounds back for the Swedish team. Ooh, fast-paced upper, Hooksy, yeah, gets behind the Molotov. Might have pressed the issue. That's the fight he wants, and he's got it. Nice little jiggle pre-fire and S-tag inside the upper bomb site. And that is the anchor down and out. 5-on-4 for Copenhagen Flames.
Hooksy, by the way, leads the way on ADR. End of last round, he was at 108.4. And already has 100 in this round, so keeping that average high. Roy will take out Fuzi. Outside open, no smoke this time, as you say, last time. 2 rounds ago, it worked. It rotated the shotgun. Last round, it didn't really work in their favor, so they'll slow it down now, put the wall so we can get inside the garage. They'll actually utilize it this time. Rez is going to try and capture the fact that they've gone through it, though, and be in a perfect position. Catches out Hooksy. Easy shot as he comes through on a gray screen. And now it's a bit of a cat and mouse game between the two of them. Oh, he's going to run, though. That's going to give him away. Noise.
Also, that's the ramp defender, which is why you see Copenhagen Flames just pick it up. They're like, oh, Rez is outside. Okay, we'll take ramp. And then also a second player spotted outside, so they know at the worst it's going to be a 3-on-1 at the lower bomb site, and it's actually entirely clear. And what a flank jabbi has coming down the vents.
Plopski already inside of them, though, is going to try and do his best to work his way out. Nikodas is staring it down with the AWP, completely countered in that position. Both entrances covered off. And another win for Copenhagen Flames to make it now 8-3. You're right, great response. They see Rez outside. Screw it, other way, go.
They just picked NiP apart. That's just like straight heads-up duels. That's not even using utility to really find any kind of advantage in those fights. That's just great shooting from the Copenhagen Flames side of things. And man, you got to feel for NiP to a certain degree in this game. This has been real scrappy, real rough half. They've won 3 rounds, but not in succession. It's win and loss each and every time, and that puts the CT economy in such a weird place. It is tough to continue fighting in these scenarios.
Yeah, imagine, I mean, Nuke, CT side, you're thinking, all right, this is where we want to be at. It is Copenhagen Flames map choice, to be clear, but when you don't have guns every round, that's just so annoying and frustrating.
I feel like this is like the 3rd or 4th round we've seen like NiP just relegated to like a half buy with no rifles. Like normally you see like, that's one of the other things that we haven't seen is Copenhagen Flames is winning so convincingly that we haven't even seen NiP able to like save any rifles. This is a bit dangerous. Hampus, he's pinned down, he's got teammates here, but slowly but surely they're gonna start wrapping upon him. He's got one, but no chance for a follow-up, and all the danger is averted.
That could have been like, if he hits those shots with a deagle, I mean, I know that's a big if because he didn't, but he had clean headshot potential there. That could have been like a 3-kill for him, which would have been huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to, like, that's kind of just tough for NiP, is in today's, like, game of Counter-Strike, how often do you see CT teams able to save 1 or 2 M4s, and then you supplement it with the pistols? Here, it's just been NiP getting wiped out and having to fight with all pistols. They don't even have an M4, don't have an AWP to the next round. And at this point in the game, when you're down 3-9, you know, there's not really a whole lot of situations where your first instinct is going to be look to save. You have to start fighting for rounds. You have to keep fighting for rounds.
Roy downstairs. Excuse me, I said downstairs. I was looking on my mini-map. He went straight into the big garage. I thought he was wrapped already past the stairway, but that is a clean kill on the outside man. Once again, Hampus down. He's been struggling in that position because they've just put so much pressure there.
Well, and I think Copenhagen Flames have had a different play outside with that wall each and every time they've gone there.
Fuzi gets siphoned back. I just checked the scoreboard, and I've been unaware of it. And Yanko alluded to this on the desk that, you know, he is a player that can hold his own at the top level, but he's more of a support player and therefore won't make magic happen. S-Tag is sitting 1-12 right now.
Yeah, he's had a rough go of it here. And I mean, part of it, he's been in that upper bomb site. We've seen Copenhagen Flames have some nice executes there, but surely as that upper defender have to be able to deliver a little bit more, and it's just not being provided. But look, NiP is not mounting a whole lot of resistance as a team either.
So Jabbi's through Squeaky, excuse me. They've already got control of Squeaky. Now I'm just confusing myself. I'll get there in the end, okay? The point is they've got outside, they've got mini, they've got all the entrances covered off, they've got the perimeter of the site. The only place that there isn't any presence is toward ramp, and Fuzi's trying to bail out of there and go through radio and hope he can make something happen. Rez, to hold his own, can only get 1. If he takes Hooksy down as well, then there's a chance they win out the round. 21 seconds, bomb to be planted upper, and Fuzi with an AWP to try and make it back into this round. 1 kill in it for him already. There's no kit to work with. He's going to try and get back in. Baits out a shot, but oversteps both players to stare him down. Hooksy gets the kill with the headshot, continuing his good form, and now 10 double digits already for the Copenhagen Flames on just the 13th round of their T side.
Yeah, this has been great. This has been beautiful from Copenhagen Flames. A nice opening, pop flash through the smoke wall outside. I think that's the first time NiP and Hampus actually even saw that kind of a play come at him in this series, in this half. Copenhagen Flames has a very dynamic attack going on. This is a well-called T-side.
And it started right from the off. We saw the pace.
Yeah.
The 2 rounds, Hooksy gets inside the vents, although he did get countered off in one of them, just barely through the smoke by, I believe it was Plopski. But it's, they know, they have it, like, it's clear that they picked Nuke for a reason as their opener of this series. They have a plan. They know exactly what they want to do and what they want to exploit. And it's nice to see, because it's a lot of teams, even though they pick Nuke, they don't necessarily play with this much assertion. They still kind of read and react, and it doesn't work on the T side always.
Yeah,
so.
Copenhagen Flames is looking really polished. This has been a great game to watch if you're a Copenhagen Flames fan.
Copenhagen games.
I know.
Flam?
We've both got word mix-ups.
Yep. It's all right. You haven't said that they need to get more sex or whatever at the major.
Look, I stand by that statement.
Everyone does.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yesterday.
Happy birthday, Jaden. That's what Valentine's Day is for me. How perfect. Hooksy's going to take down Plopski. I made it not even one game in this event before I mentioned Jaden, Jason, so.
I know. I hadn't heard a word about it yesterday either. I was surprised.
There. There. Nikodas takes down Fuzzy. That's a pretty straightforward round again. And now they'll buy for the last round of the half. 11-3 for Copenhagen Flames, looking very convincing. And a bit worrying for NiP. A few rounds they did what they could to get map control back, and you can still see them trying to push back and take territory, but it's all reactional on the CT side. And we say it so much. The way to win on Nuke, there's different approaches to it, but you've got to get the CTs moving, and they have been forced to move so much and react so often that they can't really get a footing. And I'm not sure if I'm concerned yet for NiP. Obviously, they're in the upper side of the bracket right now, but this isn't looking convincing if you're an NiP fan.
No, I mean, yeah, I think we're past the point of concern. This is turning into a beatdown. This NiP just not even being able to get started on anything positive. Another opening kill for Copenhagen Flames. They have the lower bomb site. Hooksy's gonna lurk outside. He's picked off. Nice find, but the return from Nikodas is there as well. And now NiP are in a weird place because you have to find a way to retake this lower bomb site, but you have so much action across the map. 3-on-3 in the post plant. There's one kit on Rez, and there's some utility on Rez and Plopski.
Jabbi holding the off angle. Barrel protrudes slightly on entry, but you've got to react so fast to it with the rest of the site open. They're both going to go toward the right side. Zyphen's already found the first shot on S-Tag. It's Roy that's going to follow up. Rez does catch out Jabbi. Falls on Roy as well. That's a good reaction shot down below, and he tried to defuse before in smoke. This time the smoke forward. Zyphen goes through it. We are at 12-3 at halftime for Copenhagen Flames.
Hey Future Pros! Today I wanted to show you another method to take outside and find picks on the T side of Nuke. This execute will obstruct a lot of vision from the CTs and possibly force a warehouse player.
We'll move on to the next stage with a couple of days off. NiP though already down 12-3. Maybe they'll need an X factor in this half, Jason, as they swap over to the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, they might need Jesus to come back from this kind of a scoreline, 12-3. It feels like it's just a matter of time between Copenhagen Flames just put this one away. What a beautiful first half they just played to have a massive lead like this. Winning the pistol, as we know, might just seal it right out of the gates. And we'll see how they handle it. Roy's going to be outside. You got 3 players in the upper bomb site, and Zyphen over towards ramp room for this attack. NiP heavy outside in towards yard, so Roy's going to get a chance to have more impact, but he's gushed and forced back immediately.
Immediately indeed. Roy trying to do what he can. P2000 in hand for him. Means he's loud and proud, but I would favor the USP at the range, to be completely honest. I haven't used the 2000 in years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
P250 for Rez as the smokes go down. They'll try and cross massive gap in it, though, and Hooksy's going to find the shot with the silenced USP, and that drops the bomb temporarily, so Hampus has to recover that. Thankfully, the smoke was covering its position.
S-Tag still lurking over towards Squeaky Door. That might be, as you mentioned, they need an X Factor. That might be one place they look forward. If they can successfully get downstairs to the lower bomb site, there are 2 defenders here, but if they force a quick rotation, S-Tag could have the information.
Nuke with the quick pop. Fire is going to get absolutely removed. Rez with the shot. P2, or excuse me, the P250, as I mentioned, takes down the P2000. And that'll open up some positions. Zyphin's going to hold this off, though. At Orange Box, he can just be quiet in this. Smoke should give them a plant. That gives Roy a chance to advance as well, and he does tremendous damage on Therese. Bomb does go down, but 2 on top of it already. Big rotation in this is that S-Tag still lurking up above, can try and cover off the vents. It may not matter, though. Roy's already on it. That Smoke's in position still. They could try and tap this out. Hampus is going to go all the way around to control room. And at this point, there is no kits. So if they're going to go, they've got to go early. That bomb now completely exposed. Hampus is spotted. Good shot, Zyphin. S-Tag opens the door. 2 in front of him. He takes them both down, but Hooksy trades it, and this will be enough time to defuse. Very close round in terms of what was going on specifically inside of the site, but the perimeter saves it with late play from Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, which could have been tricky considering NiP had 2 players on the lurk in different areas. That could have been a real spanner in the works for Copenhagen Flames, but the fact that they dispatch of the 2 players in the lower bomb site increases the pace that the lurkers have to take for NiP. I think that might have just screwed up their game plan a little bit. Good job from Copenhagen Flames. Nice patience as the bomb's being planted, and good trading as well to get the defuse. 13-3. And NiP off that buy, I mean, excuse me, off that plant, they have to buy. They have to continually invest with this kind of a deficit. Desperate times for the Ninjas. Plopski with a Galil. You've got an AK on Rez and a Scout on Fuzi. And then Deagles on the remaining 2 players. And Copenhagen Flames going to get aggressive and take away whatever idea NiP had in this round. Ooh. Nice catch.
Yep. And that's an even better catch. Bullet through the wall. Gives him the smoke cover as well. Roy's going to take down Rez. Very convincing. Bomb was never really a factor as Hampus was trying desperately to run it around outside with his teammate out there. But just 2 rounds to go now for Copenhagen Flames. Again, their map choice. I said I wouldn't be concerned for NiP, but when you've only got 3 rounds, yeah, okay, start to. I'll be very concerned on the next map when it's their choice. And if Mirage doesn't get off to a good start for them, then the fact that we're into our first best of 3 of the event, sure, they're on the upper side of the bracket. There's still worrying signs here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at it from the other angle, it's very positive signs for the Copenhagen Flames. This is great. I mean, for a team that kind of, as they mentioned on the desk, had that great run at the major, and then we kind of didn't hear much about them. They had the odd period of looking for a new organization, of maybe perhaps leaving the Copenhagen Flames, and that didn't come to fruition. And I thought maybe kind of the excitement had just kind of fizzled out, and here, reigniting a little bit of that early on at Katowice.
Bounce nade to clear close corner. That certainly is telling of the fact that there's a player down there. They already know that. They saw him run through the Squeaky Door early, so they're not exactly posturing with worry as of yet to cover off the lower position, but Roy's going to take down S-Tag. Zyphin still up above. They've got the innards of the site covered with the crossfire high and low. Orange box, but they didn't see the toxic entrance. This decontamination room becomes a problem for them. They'll jump back up, and Rez now has a chance to try and cover off his teammate with an AK that he's picked up, and the bomb should go down. Hampus just baiting it out to make sure no one's going to come through from the control side doors.
There's no safety to get this plant down.
That's the tough part. That was arguably the chance, but they don't know that. So instead, they're going to go back together and try and clear more angles.
This is a great play. Does Hooksy realize the possibility? He hasn't even looked over. There's the transfer over. That's unreal. Bomb even falls out of the vents. So Rez committed to that play, and Hooksy's got it as well. Everything that can go wrong for NiP is going wrong. And it's 15-3.
And that's a tough one, too, because crosshair placement popping out for that strafe shot from the vents.
Yeah.
Where is he? He's up close on the stairs. He's not at the bottom where he expected him to be, and that gives him the time he needs to react.
And actually, all due respect to NiP, they actually handled this kind of crossfire in the lower bomb site pretty well, going 2 for 2. Zyphin and I believe that was Nikodas that was over in dark, just kind of failed to coordinate who was watching what at the right moment, and one NiP player able to sneak through. Still, almost as close to impossible as you're going to get, this comeback is.
So we'll see if this map ends now on just the 19th round.
Man, this is a phenomenal opening in this series for Copenhagen Flames. They're going to feel great between maps. NiP, I mean, Not a lot of fragging coming out. Not a whole lot of production on that CT side in terms of just getting kills. They're baited right into Roy. Nikodas is there as well, and once again it ends in spectacular fashion for Copenhagen Flames. 16-3. Dominant opening map.
Very dominant indeed. 23 kills for Hooksy. He leads the way. 20 for Roy. In fact, pretty much everyone in Copenhagen Flames with more than anyone in NiP. Rez had 15 and Jabbi, okay, he's 14. He's one under that, but yeah.